What up, though? What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean. I am your host, Uncle Sean, and I'm glad to be here this evening, here in the month of February, which they call Black History Month. But as we know, Black History Month is every month. So I'm gonna hit you with some black facts right quick. I like to talk about specific people in history who invented things. And a brother by the name of John Thomas White. He invented the lemon squeezer. He did that in the year of 1893. John Thomas White created the lemon squeezer in 1893. And in 1864, before slavery ended, our brother John W. Reed invented the rolling pin. Let's give that brother two hands for inventing something when he couldn't even own nothing. Yeah. So that's been your black fact here on the Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean podcast. And I want to talk about today how birds of a feather flock together, for the most part. Birds of a feather flock together. Like-minded people usually hang around each other. You know, you got your jocks and your guys that like sports. They usually kick it with each other. You got your cats that like to play chess or whatever. They might hang out with each other. You got your guys who, you know, like cars. They hang out with each other. You know, you got your crackhead that hangs out with your other crackhead. You know, you got your pill head, you hangs out with other pill heads, and so forth and so on. So, logically speaking, and knowing this to be true, if someone is hanging out with a known pedophile, someone who's known to dilly-dally with children. Yeah. And you're hanging out with them. You're hanging out with them on more than one occasion. As a matter of fact, you and that person are the best of friends for a long period of time. Oh, yeah. And when it comes out later on that this becomes public, like it was known, but it wasn't public. There's a difference. You see, known is the people who are participating in those realms, they know about it. But when it becomes public, that means they talking about it on the news, and you know, the veil has come off. So when you've been hanging around this person, it is to be assumed that you were doing what they were doing. Right? Right. I mean, am I right or wrong? So, this is what I want to ask. Knowing this, being logical, why is it all of a sudden okay for certain individuals to have these kind of accusations left and right? Ben had them. And the people who follow this person, they don't got nothing to say. It ain't that. Now, if it was anybody else, hell, the barometer I like to use is Obama. But it wouldn't even have to be Obama. It could be anybody. Joe Biden, GW, but especially Obama. If Obama had an allegation that he had accidentally stepped on a puppy's tail, they would have been ready to hang him. That ain't funny. I mean, and you got somebody in office who's got 34 felonies. And now there are allegations that this man's name is all up and through the Epstein files. They've been saying it, but I guess they can only redact so much. They end up just blacking out the whole damn file. Everything will be blacked out. They talking about how many times his name is mentioned. There's no way in God's green earth that you mention all this time in the pedophiles' files and you ain't done nothing. And some of the things that they have alleged to have been going on are so disgusting and sick that I don't even want to. I mean, it's just. Whew. Now, where are the evangelical, those white Christians? Where they at? But obviously, they ain't got no problem with it because they don't say nothing. They didn't even say nothing when them Catholic priests was getting caught up for doing all that they was doing. And not one of them went to jail. All the Catholic Church did was pay out some money. And they don't even hardly talk about it no more. I mean, man, listen, prepare your mind, prepare your soul. I mean, it is beyond reason why the things that are okay when they've never been okay. Got another question I like to ask. Why does President Trump have a picture of Vladimir Putin in the White House? Huh? What? Why does he have a picture of Vladimir Putin in the White House? Now, I'm in my mid-50s. I was born in 1970. Ever since I can remember, Russia has been the enemy of the United States. I remember being in school and them showing us a movie called The Day After, which depicted nuclear war against Russia. Every movie that they had, it was always Russia against the United States, Soviet Union against the United States, Soviet Union against the United States. And up until President Trump got in office the first time, that's the way it was. What I don't understand, okay, listen, let's say Trump has all kinds of business ties. We know he's mailed order bride, he got his mailed order brides from over there every time he got one, you know. Let's just say that he's got business ties or whatever to Russia. The level of ass kissing for a president of a so-called democracy to basically kiss the inside crack of the ass of a dictator in Vladimir Putin so much that you put a picture of him and you up in the White House? What kind of sissy love is that? Are you trying to tell us something? And how come ain't none of y'all people upset? Like, where are the patriots? Where's all the patriotic white Americans? Why don't y'all have a problem with this? Make me understand. I'm asking. I'm just curious. Because your dear leader Trump says Putin is the be all end all, you guys just say, oh, yep, sure is. Are you guys really that stupid and dumb and gullible? Are you that bigger followers that you can't even critically think at all for yourself? Is that the case? If it is, okay. That's what it is. But don't turn around and try to play like you smart. Don't turn around and try to play like you are so intelligent. Because I ain't seeing it. You know, a person like me who has done and does a lot of reading, I know how things got like they are. And nothing lasts forever. And the level of immorality, stupidity, and just plain evil is going to implode on itself. We're watching it go down. It's going to be slow and painful. Because you were talking about one of the biggest scandals in the history of the country. Because this is bigger than Watergate and the Iran-Contra. This is bigger than Lewinsky Gate. This is bigger than what was that? Benghazi. You're talking about years of abuse by grown folks touching and doing unspeakable things to children at the highest levels. Now, if the American people do not do something about that, this country's gonna really be in trouble because you do you I mean that's just you have no moral authority to say nothing to anyone about what they do if this is not a problem. And I don't see how anybody can condone that kind of behavior. I don't see how. It's ridiculous. And it's disgusting. And it's criminal. Is this how far they've fallen? What we know, listen, they've always been evil and always been willing to do the unspeakable, but usually they try to hide it. You don't even try to hide it no more. You just gloss over it. Just do something to kind of distract from what's going on. And listen, I don't know too much about Nicki Minaj, but I've never really looked at her as being an upstanding woman of any kind of morals or anything like that. I heard she got a lot of fuckery in her family and the people she deal with. So a person like that, they like I say, birds of a feather flock together. See, I don't hang around nobody that has a different get down than me. Now, I've had acquaintances that did things that I didn't do, but I ain't hang around them like that, you know, because as a man, you have to have some kind of a code that you live by, and you have to stand on it. There are certain things I don't do. There are certain things I don't put up with. There are certain things I do not condone. And I don't hang around people who do those things. You have to be able to stand on something. You have to have some type of a moral code. But a lot of people don't have a moral code. They just do whatever. And if that's what you choose to do, fine. But a lot of people end up messed up from stuff like that. If you live, you learn. Now, I would just like to say one thing before I leave, and that is, it is Black History Month. Take this opportunity to look up some Black history, look up some real history, and then tell somebody about it. Each one teach one, especially these young folks that don't know nothing and ain't trying to know nothing. Tell them anyway, you know. Trick them into watching a movie on Black history or something, a documentary, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And it's a lot of wasted minds and talent out here. And we're going to have opportunities to do a lot of good things and move up to the front. So you have to be mentally as well as physically and psychologically ready to do that. So everybody, do what you got to do. Read, learn, study, Stay prayed up to whoever you decide to pray to, and be safe. This has been another podcast with Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean. And this podcast was written, produced, directed, performed, arranged, and funded by me. Peace.